Well, let's get a couple last questions here. This one having to do with Mid-South Wrestling. Sent to CornyDriveThru@gmail.com from John. Evening from the English countryside. Hope this finds you both well. I'm currently watching the Midnight Express in Mid-South. Just a little thing that may mean nothing, but I wonder why Dennis Condrey takes his bandana and ties it around his knee before the match begins. I've listened to all the old episodes, and I don't remember this being asked before.
You know, that was a thing that Dennis just started doing when he started wearing bandanas, which, you know, the early 80s was the time of everybody wearing bandanas. But while he would wear it to the ring around his neck, you wouldn't have a match. That's why you don't have a match wearing any jewelry. I've seen some guys wearing necklaces or their wedding ring on some kind of leather little thong around their neck. I'm like, you're fucking out of your mind. Have you ever seen a hanging? It's the same principle. So he would take it off, and instead of just tossing it with his vest or jacket or whatever, he would put his foot up on the fucking bottom rope and tie it around his knee. That was just the thing he did. There was no plan behind it, and it wasn't, it didn't come into play as a foreign object. It was just a safe place to put the bandana rather than having a match with a noose around your neck.
That's it? No hidden meaning or anything else?
That's pretty much it. Well, think about it. If you're watching MTV in 1983, 84, how many people are wearing bandanas? Every fucking body and everything, right?
Well, the thing
I never wore a bandana because I was never fashionable to begin with, but
yeah, but the thing is, you see Ricky and Robert, and like, yeah, it makes sense. It's one of those crazy moments when you look at how old Dennis Condrey is and how old he was there, and it's like, holy shit, he was only, 32 here? It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's actually, wait a minute. He turned 32 when we were in Louisiana.
He looks 10 years older.
Yes, and see, that was the thing and also because he had been around so long, especially if you'd been a Tennessee wrestling fan, he'd been in main events since 75 when he was 23. So, and then that's why he was so baby-faced, it almost looked ridiculous when he first started. And baby-faced, I'm talking about, no beard, no mustache, kind of long hair of that time. But, he had to grow some facial hair and then gig marks helped. He got a lot of juice in Tennessee. But yeah, he looked older and more gruff and, mean than what he actually was at the time. Well, he was still gruff and mean, but he looked older. And then when, the transformation in his body, because you go back and look at 1975 stuff when he and Hickerson were a top team, but his physique was, let's say, not toned to be, or tanned to be charitable. But then by 82, 83, when he had that real good run in Memphis, him and Norvell, him and Randy, the Midnight Express and Continental, the whole 9 yards, he was working out, he was lifting weights, he was fucking,
not riding around with Phil Hickerson anymore.
Not riding around with Phil Hickerson. Even though he wasn't a bodybuilder, he was in great shape. He weighed 230. He was strong. He could muscle those fucking guys up whether they wanted to go or not. So, he was that period of time through the mid 80s there, he was in good shape. But no, he was only in his mid 30s.